Hello there, Australia and New Zealand. My name's Amanda from LTR Medical. This morning I would like to do a demonstration on the Accufuser with the bolus option, including utilising the bolus mate accessory. So the Accufuser comes in many shapes and sizes for multiple applications, from a 60 ml device right up to a 600 ml device. So please get in touch if you have an interest, but this particular product may not suit your needs. Please give me a call. My number is 0431 879 422, and we can discuss the type of Accufuser that you need for your application. So this morning what I'll be doing is demonstrating filling our largest device, which is the 600 ml device. When you are in your hospital or day surgery or your institution, what you would need to do is you would need to grab your Accufuser from the package. Now please note this is just the device only. You would still need to also go and grab yourself a carry bag, as well as the catheter that your surgeon or anaesthetist will be utilising for the procedure. And if you would like to use the bolus mate accessory, please grab one of those as well. So to have a look at the device in detail, as I said, this is the largest device. This is 600 ml in size. Here, as an example, is the 300 ml size. They all fit in the same carry bag. So we have our device. Heading down the line, we have our filling port. This has a back check valve, so you can inject fluid in, but you cannot withdraw fluid from it. You keep going down the line, you will then reach your keypad, which is how we do our programming of the device. And there is also an air elimination and antibacterial filter. You'll notice the end cap is blue in colour. Please leave this on whilst filling the device, because this allows air to escape but not fluid. So we leave this on right until the last point prior to connection. So as discussed, I'll be utilising this filling port. As you can see, I predominantly filled the device prior to jumping on camera. With all of the Accufusers, you must put at least 50% capacity in there, but you do not need to completely fill it. So for example, in this 600 ml device, I must put in 300 ml, but you can then put in any volume from 300 through to 600 ml. Now, when filling the device, please use aseptic non-touch technique. I will remove my filling cap. It's just a standard Luer lock connection. And as I inject in, you will see the balloon inflate further. As you can see, it's also extremely easy to fill. I did that utilising one hand only. That's the completion of the filling of the device. For this purpose, I won't fill it completely up. You can see that there is an internal gauge also in the device. So this is great once the infusion has started. If you compare that to the empty one, you can actually see how much volume is remaining. So when you're doing your routine checks, you can certainly see that the volume of fluid is infusing. So that's how we fill the device, by injecting fluid in here. Now, when filling, there's just a couple of things that you need to take note of. So one is, do not clamp the line. So we just leave that clamp loose. We don't clamp the line because clamping the line can create a memory in the line. So we just leave that unclamped. We also, as I mentioned, we leave our blue cap on. And the last thing that we need to do is make sure, now it's difficult to see on here because I've used blue food colouring for ease of viewing, but there actually is an arrow on this filter. Now when filling, we need to just make sure that the arrow is pointing towards the ceiling. This is to allow all of the air to escape first so that we don't get any trapped air bubbles in the filter. And lastly is, when it comes, as I said, I had already opened mine, but when it comes fresh out of the package, you can see that there is a red tab. It's a little bit tricky to see, but there is a red tab on this part of the device. So there is a red tab that holds the yellow button down. Please leave the red tab in place during the filling process. This will make it faster to fill. At the completion of the filling and prior to connection, we remove the red tab, and now we have the bolus button available for the patient to use. Now, this device is called the MS range, or the MS5248 range. What this allows to occur is it allows for a background rate of 0 to 14 mils an hour to be infused in increments of 2 mils. And if you look at this one here, you can see that the arrow is pointing to the number 2. So this means that I have this set at a background rate of 2 mils. The way that the rate is changed is by using the universal key that comes with every device to rotate that. And that can be rotated clockwise or anti-clockwise. Please just always make sure that you remove the key. This is never to be left with the patient. We usually keep that on the drug keys, and never leave that with the patient. And the bottom half of the keypad is where we adjust the bolus lockout time. So with this range, you can have your bolus turned off, or you can have a 10, 15 or 30-minute lockout time. You will see that I have this set at 30 minutes. Now, the way that the lockout time is changed is by using the small end of the key, and once again it rotates. You push that in and rotate it to turn it to exactly the program you want. So when your patient arrives on the ward, this is one of the things that you'll be checking. Is it the correct background rate? Has the doctor prescribed a bolus, and the bolus of 5 mils? And what is the lockout time of that bolus? So as I said, this device is set at 2 mil background, a 5 mil bolus behind the yellow button, and a 30-minute lockout. Now, when instructing your patients to utilize their bolus button, I usually say that if your patient doesn't have the manual dexterity to peel an orange, for example, then they may not be able to use this button effectively. I like to describe it as, imagine there's another balloon sitting under this button. This device is run by the elasticity of the balloon. It is not an electronic pump, so there are no beeps, there's no buzzers and no batteries. But when utilising the device, you need to instruct the patient to squeeze it. So tell them to imagine a little balloon underneath, and we want them to depress it all the way down so that they can get their dose. Now, if you think, I'm not sure if my patient has the ability or the strength, they may have had upper limb surgery, or they may be suffering from extreme arthritis in their hands and it's too difficult for them. So we have developed an accessory called the bolus mate. So how this accessory works is we place the bolus button inside here, and then this is how it stays with the patient. All they would need to do to administer a bolus, and I'm going to do that now, I'll just take my cap off. It's a little bit messy using the food colouring. And now the patient will just depress. You may not be able to hear it, but I can actually hear that fluid squeezing in. And that's it. The patient has now just received a 5 ml bolus. So just to recap, we have a variety of sizes from 60 mils right up to 600 mils. Very easy viewing at ward level, so the nurses can certainly see that the fluid is being infused. And upon filling, leave in the red guard, which is the priming guard. Do not clamp the line. Make sure the arrow is pointing upwards, and remove your blue cap at the very end to make sure that you can see that first drop of fluid prior to connecting to your catheter. Thank you for using the Accufuser, and please don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any queries. My name's Amanda, 0431 879 422. Thank you.